This is the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, the successor to what we highly regard as the king of phablets, that phone that does more than your standard phone. Samsung is boldly confident that this is the best device in the market, but there's really only one way to find out. Reporting from New York City, I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocket Now, and let's go hands-on. At a glance, the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 looks like everything the Galaxy Note 8 should have always been, meaning this is more an iteration with significant and logical improvements. We have the same glass-on-glass design with an aluminum trim that now includes a minor chamfer in the border, providing a shiny new aesthetic even if subtle. Two new colors were shown to us, lavender purple and ocean blue, with the latter being my favorite. It's got this new dark branding in the back along with a yellow S Pen to spice things up. From the back, we notice a fingerprint scanner now placed in a reachable spot, addressing one of our biggest complaints of its predecessor. From the front, we actually have a new, taller 6.4-inch infinity display over the same footprint of the Note 8, which seems to have been achieved by making the bezels asymmetrical on the Note 9 if you look closely. This means we now have an 83% screen-to-body ratio, and this Super AMOLED panel at Quad HD Plus resolution continues to be the gold standard we compare every other phone to. Stereo speakers tuned by AKG also make it to the Note line to assist with content consumption, in addition to the beloved headphone jack. Now, the company mentions three pillars that define the philosophy behind the Note 9: all-day performance, a mightier S Pen, and an intelligent camera. Yes, this is the most powerful Samsung Galaxy to date, so no, it's not just the Galaxy S9 Plus with an S Pen. It's the first to support options that range between 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, or a whopping 8GB of RAM and 512GB of storage, a larger 4000 mAh battery, the typical fast and wireless charging, and IP68 water and dust resistance. It's powered by the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 845, which not only means speedy performance and power efficiency, but also the Cat 18 LTE modem and 4x4 MIMO that Ookla has been praising in speed tests lately. To address with throttling, Samsung claims the use of a new water carbon cooling system for enhanced game performance. And yes, this is one of the Galaxy phones included in the Fortnite for Android initial release. We'll definitely do our homework as to how this cooling system works, as Samsung only mentions that it spreads heat 3 times better. Probably one of the places where this is most evident is that it proved to be powerful enough to power DeX without the need of a cradle. All you need now is a special USB-C to HDMI adapter, which I assume will be sold separately by Samsung. The UI has now been enhanced so much that you don't really need to buy a keyboard and a mouse either. Simply use the Galaxy Note 9 as a trackpad, and whenever you select text or a text field on the screen, your keyboard will pop up on the phone for you to type. Powering the show is Android 8.1 Oreo on top of Samsung's Experience 9.5, which technically looks the same, but we'll have a closer look during our review coverage to report back on details, as our time with the phone was rather limited. As for the mightier S Pen, there are some changes to the hardware. There's now Bluetooth LE for communication up to 30 feet away, and to charge it, there's a new supercapacitor built in to power within the silo, with 30 minutes being juiced up in just 40 seconds. This means the S Pen now has new functionality, like being able to control music, your camera, presentations, or whatever settings you decide, and Samsung is now launching a new SDK for developers to take it even further. And yes, it also provides the legacy features like serving for navigation, translation, drawing, you name it. And now new tricks include the fact that the color of the ink on screen off memo depends on the color of your S Pen, which I find to be cool. And finally, as for intelligent cameras, we have a dual camera module at the back with both lenses being optically stabilized. The primary 12-megapixel shooter is now being dubbed the Super Speed Dual Pixel Camera with autofocus, OIS, and variable aperture that ranges between f1.5 and f2.4. The telephoto is also of 12 megapixels with autofocus, providing 2x optical zoom and 10x digital zoom, though we have fixed aperture at f2.4. And finally, the selfie camera is of 8 megapixels with autofocus and f1.7 aperture. Samsung now includes AI features that can detect up to 20 scenes to enhance the auto mode, and that works locally on the phone. There's even a new flaw detection feature to detect eye blinks, image blur, lens smudges, backlighting, and other things that require another photo, though these are things that we will have to check in our full review. So yes, this is the new Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Pre-orders begin at 12:01 Eastern on August 10th, and availability in all major US carriers on August 24th. Pricing starts at $1,000, pretty much for the 6 and 128GB model, and then only select carriers will have the 8 and 512GB model. Those who pre-order will either get a choice for a free pair of AKG noise-canceling headphones valued at $300,